All right, ladies and gentlemen, Wednesday, March 25th, day 3 of week 2 of our virtual Dear. We are on chapter 10. You'll recall that yesterday, Star and her mom went to stay with Carlos, their uncle. Fear of the riots and all the protests going on in Star's neighborhood. Chris showed up at the house unannounced, and Star and Chris had a very heartwarming, conversation where they reconnected and probably fell even deeper in love with each other. Now we're proceeding with chapter 10. For those of you following along in the book, chapter 10 is on page 164. So if you're lucky enough to have a copy of the book at home, you're on page 164. For the rest of you, stay tuned, follow along with me, and we'll find out what's happening next. We spend the night at Uncle Carlos's house, because the riot started again as soon as the sun went down. Somehow, the store got spared. And again, that's Maverick's store, the family store. We should go to church and thank God for that, but Mama and I are too tired to sit through less than an hour of anything. So Connie wants to spend another day at Uncle Carlos's, so Sunday morning, we return to Garden Heights without him. Right as we get off the freeway, we're met by a police roadblock. And you can only imagine Star seeing police again, how she must feel. Only one lane of traffic isn't blocked by a patrol car, and officers talk to drivers before letting them pass through. Suddenly, it's as if someone grabbed my heart and twisted it. I swallow, can we get around them? Doubt it. They probably got those all around the neighborhood. Mama glances over at me and frowns. Munch, you okay? I grab my door handle. They can easily grab their guns and leave us like they left Khalil. All the blood in our bodies pooling on the street for everybody to see. Our mouths wide open, our eyes staring at the sky, searching for God. Hey, Mama cups my cheek. Hey, look at me. I try to, but my eyes are filled with tears. I'm so sick of being this weak. Khalil may have lost his life, but I lost something too. It pisses me off. It's okay, Mama says. We got this, all right? Close your eyes if you have to. I do. Keep your hands visible. No sudden moves. Only speak when spoken to. Again, Star's reliving the talk she had about how to behave when cops are around. The seconds drag by like hours. The officer asks Mama for her ID and proof of insurance, and I beg Black Jesus to get us home, hoping there won't be a gunshot as she searches through her purse. We finally drive off. See, baby, she says, everything's fine. Her words used to have power. If she said it was fine, it was fine. But after you've held two people as they took their last breaths, words like that don't mean anything anymore. I haven't let go of the car door handle when we pull into our driveway. Daddy comes out and knocks on my window. Mama rolls it down for me. There go my girls, he smiles, but it fades into a frown. What's wrong? You about to go somewhere, baby? Mama asks, meaning they'll talk later. Yeah, gotta run to the warehouse and stock up. He taps my shoulder. Hey, want to hang out with your daddy? I'll get you some ice cream. One of them big fat tubs that'll last about a month. I laugh, even though I don't feel like it. Daddy's talented like that. I don't need all that ice cream. I ain't say you needed it. When we get back, we can watch that Harry Potter stuff you like so much. No. What? He asks. Daddy, you're the worst person to watch Harry Potter with. The whole time you're talking about, I deepen my voice, why don't they shoot that Voldemort? Hey, it don't make sense that in all them movies and books, nobody thought to shoot him. If it's not that, Mama says, you're giving your Harry Potters about gangs theory. It is, he says. Okay, so it is a good theory. Daddy claims the Hogwarts houses are really gangs. They have their own colors, their own hideouts, and they're always riding for each other, like gangs. Harry, Ron, and Hermione never snitch on one another, just like gangbangers. Death Eaters even have matching tattoos. And look at Voldemort. They're scared to say They're scared to say his name. Really, that he who must not be named stuff is like giving him a street name. That's some gangbanging stuff right there. Y'all know that make a lot of sense, Daddy says. Just 'cause they was in England don't mean they wasn't gangbanging. He looks at me. So, you down to hang out with your old man today, or what? I'm always down to hang out with him. We roll through the streets, Tupac blasting through the subwoofers. He's rapping about keeping your head up, and Daddy glances at me as he raps along, like he's telling me the same thing Tupac is. I know you're fed up, baby, he nudges my chin, but keep your head up. He sings with the chorus about how things will get easier, and I don't know if I want to cry, because that's really speaking to me right now, or crack up, because Daddy's singing is so horrible. Daddy says, that was a deep dude right there, real deep. They don't make rappers like that no more. You're showing your age, Daddy. Whatever, it's the truth. Rappers nowadays only care about money, hoes, and clothes. Showing your age, I whisper. Pac rapped about that stuff too. Yeah, but he also cared about uplifting people, uplifting Black people, says Daddy. Like he took the word, when we see the N word, and gave it a whole new meaning. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. And he said thug life meant the hate you give little infants F's everybody. I censor myself. This is my daddy I'm talking to, you know? You know about that? Yeah, Khalil told me Khalil told me what he thought it means. We were listening to Tupac right before, well, you know. All right, so what do you think it means? You don't know, I ask. I know, but I want to hear what you think. Here he goes, picking my brain. Khalil said it's about what society feeds us as youth and how it comes back and bites them later. I say, I think it's about more than youth, though. I think it's about us, period. Us? Who? He asks. Black people, minorities, poor people, everybody at the bottom in society. The oppressed, says Daddy. Yeah, we're the ones who get the short end of the stick, but we're the ones they fear the most. That's why the government targeted the Black Panthers, right? Because they were scared of the Panthers. Uh-huh, Daddy says. The Panthers educated and empowered the people. That tactic of empowering the oppressed goes even further back than the Panthers, though. Name one. Is he serious? He always makes me think. This one takes me a second. The slave rebellion of 1831, I say. Nat Turner empowered and educated other slaves, and it led to one of the biggest slave revolts in history. All right, you on it. He gives me dap. So, what's the hate they're giving the little infants in today's society? Racism? You got to get a little more detailed than that. Think about Khalil and his whole situation before he died. He was a drug dealer? It hurts to say that. And possibly a gang member? Why was he a drug dealer? Why are so many people in our neighborhood drug dealers? I remember what Khalil said. He got tired of choosing between lights and food. They need money, I say, and they don't have a lot of other ways to get it. Right. Lack of opportunities, Daddy says. Corporate America don't bring jobs to our communities, and they damn sure ain't quick to hire us. Then, even if you do have a high school diploma, so many of the schools in our neighborhoods don't prepare us well enough. That's why, when your mama talked about sending you and your brothers to Williamson, I agreed. Our schools don't get the resources to equip you like Williamson does. It's easier to find some crack than it is for a good school around here. Now think about this, he says. How did the drugs even get in our neighborhood? This is a multi-billion-dollar industry we talking about, baby. That stuff is flown into our communities. But I don't know anybody with a private jet. Do you? No. Exactly. Drugs come from somewhere, and they're destroying our community, he says. You got folks like Brenda who think they need them to survive, and then you got the Khalils who think they need to sell them to survive. The Brendas can't get jobs unless they're clean, and they can't pay for rehab unless they get jobs. When the Khalils get arrested for selling drugs, they either spend most of their life in prison, another billion-dollar industry, or they have a hard time getting a real job and probably start selling drugs again. That's the hate they're giving us, baby. A system designed against us. That's thug life. Very pivotal paragraph here. They have a hard time getting a real job and probably start selling drugs again. That's the hate they're giving us. A system designed against us. That's thug life. I hear you, but Khalil didn't have to sell drugs, I say. You stopped doing it. True, but unless you're in his shoes, don't judge him. It's easier to fall into that life than it is to stay out of it, especially in a situation like his. Now, one more question. Really? He's messed with my head enough. Yeah, really, he mocks in a high voice. I don't even sound like that. After everything I've said, how does thug life apply to the protests and the riots? So how does it apply to what's going on in their life right now? I have to think about that one for a minute. Everybody's pissed because 115 hasn't been charged, I say, but also because he's not the first one to do something like this and get away with it. It's been happening, and people will keep rioting until it changes. So I guess the system's still giving hate, and everybody's still getting, well, effed. Daddy laughs and gives me dap. My girl, watch your mouth, but yeah, that's about right. And why we won't stop getting effed till it changes. That's the key. It's gotta change. So this is that idea of the agent of change. We have the power to go from take a bad situation where the system's designed against us to changing for the better. A lump forms in my throat as the truth hits me hard. That's why people are speaking out, huh? Because it won't change if we don't say anything. Exactly. We can't be silent. So I can't be silent. Daddy stills. He looks at me. I see the fight in his eyes. I matter more to him than any movement. I'm his baby and I'll always be his baby. And if being silent means I'm safe, he's all for it. But this is bigger than me and Khalil, though. This is about us with a capital U. Everybody who looks like us, feels like us, and is experiencing this pain with us despite not knowing me or Khalil. My silence isn't helping us. Daddy fixes his gaze on the road again. He nods. Yeah, can't be silent. The trip to the warehouse is hell. So again, referencing that idea of your voice being your most powerful weapon, you don't want to be silent. We'll pause there. I'll get ready for link number 2. Thank you again for tuning in. Again, just thinking about those questions. How can we be an agent of change? What can we do to make the world a better place? Think about that. We'll be back for link 2. See you in a few minutes.